Good afternoon, everybody. This is Pamela checking in on a video, vlog, chat, speakeasy, whatever you want to call it. Just wanted to let you know what was going on with me, and I'm going to tell you some things about my brother John that I recently just found out. Excuse me. Well, today I started using some of my stimulus to stock my house up with toilet paper and groceries that I actually needed. And I got one big pack of toilet paper so you don't think I'm hoarding it. Um, yeah, I had my brother actually go to the store, get me some more cereal, some dinners in a box, to a couple of steaks, something that I could eat on since it's getting close to my birthday. And I told my brother we need to figure out a night when we could have dinner together. I had him get potatoes and all kinds of things that we could get at the grocery store, from bread, buns, cereal, to pudding snacks, to whatever else he got on my list. It's been a big help, though. My brother John has been an incredible help to me. Because since this COVID thing started, he has been on everything. Taking care of me, mowing the yard, and then going away for 2 weeks and helping out his wife's work at their warehouse. And came back, um, checked in with me the following day when he got back. Then got some groceries for me earlier today, and got me McDonald's for dinner. And let's see what else. And helped me with the laundry, and all that kind of stuff. He's done laundry and helped me with my yard and some mail and making sure that I'm taken care of for the next 3 or 4 weeks. So I think from where I stand, the fact that our president, if I may say that, our president wants some things open by 10 days from now. That includes what our governor here, Governor DeWine, has been saying. And I saw some of the press conference earlier today, and I thought it was a sloppy press conference, which is unusual for my local area. We've had a lot of sound problems, especially when they come to somebody that speaks Mexican American, and talking about the divide on how blacks and other minorities can get the help, well, cannot get the help while others can. And it's a sad thing. Then to add on top of that, we've got people protesting these shut-ins. We don't want to have to be shut in, but I think our cities are doing it to help save our lives. When this thing broke out, we've had over 500 deaths plus here in Ohio, and I think part of the lower rate here was the quick actions of our governor to bring in here. And it's just crazy. A lot of people are going out to the beaches in California and taking off their protective masks and acting like nothing has happened. And like a lot of people have said, you could be not symptomatic and still carry the virus. And like I said, I'm doing everything I can to make sure that I don't get sick. But things haven't been going very well for me here this past week. Not only have I had bad joint pain, but I've had a case of diarrhea, especially the day my brother was coming back from wherever he was coming back from that sabbatical. And my brother said, "You haven't been eating today?" And I'm like, "No." I said, "How can I, when every few minutes to every half an hour I'd have to be in the bathroom, either feeling like I'm going to be sick, or going to the bathroom. So it was a heck of a day, you know. It was like, wasn't feeling well, wasn't dealing well with it. And my brother said, well, if I get you groceries, I'll wait about a day or two after I come back. And maybe I'll get you something nice from someplace you haven't eaten in a while. And, it's just been really crazy around here. You know, we've been dealing with a lot around here. Trying to get things stocked up and trying to make some sort of plans for late April, early May. And I don't think I'm going to have a birthday party. I don't think I'm going to go to the movies. And I certainly don't think I'm going to be going out anywhere, to be honest with you. And they just said in my area that all schools will remain closed for the foreseeable future. But yet they want to open up places like gym centers and possible daycares might open. But if people are smart, they'll shelter in place. I know this doesn't bode well for business. Let's see. They're talking about more new bills, including renewed funding for small business. And total U.S. death toll is at 44,752 people. And Trumpster has temporarily suspended immigration. The FDA approves first at-home coronavirus test. New York City cancels major parades. Facebook maps people who say they have symptoms. Update 3. Global cases surpass 2.5 million people. German officials cancel their Oktoberfest. Who says virus likely originated from animals and not in a lab. Now that I did read about earlier. Let's see, the bipartisan Senate report affirms that intelligence community's conclusion that Russia interfered to help Trump in 2016. But we won't talk about that. I think while China is trying to get back on the road to recovery, and I know we as an American populace want to get back to somewhat of a normal life, it's not going to be that simple. You think you could just say, oh, the ban is lifted, or the shutdown is lifted. We could throw off our masks and go back outside. It's not that simple. It is not that simple. You could be walking around feeling perfectly fine and test positive for COVID. But that's the sad thing is, people are fighting to get tested. Even a guy like Christopher Cross had to fight to be tested. And now he can't walk at all because of COVID. Some people have lost their legs due to blood clots in their legs. Pretty scary circumstance. When I worry about my brother, I worry more about him than I do anybody else. Because he has not only come out to help me with the house and the laundry and the like, and he also had to help my brother-in-law this week. Actually, yesterday, he went over not only to his house, he was at his house, mowed his yard, then mowed my sister's yard, then my yard, all in one day. And he says, I gotta go back over to Paula's and mow her yard. And I'm like, well, why? What about Dan? And he goes, well, Dan broke something on his mower and had to order a new part for it. So when he got over there and he mowed that yard and he came back and he did mine, he says, Pam, you will not believe this. You thought the grass in our neighbor's yard was high? You should have seen your sister's yard. And I said, oh, I believe it. I believe it. I don't know how long my brother-in-law's mower has been broke, but it had to be really high. He says it was higher than hell. So we've been battling a lot around here, if it's not me not feeling well. And like I said, if I'm not feeling well, I don't want people coming over. This past week had been hell in itself. Although it did have some good points. My sister brought over a thing of donuts on Easter and brought me over some type of Easter dinner from Bob Evans, which was actually very good. I had like their beef roast, which wasn't too bad. It was like a lot. It was like my mom, what she used to make. And I ate that, the potatoes and the carrots. I kind of skipped the rules because I'm more of a biscuit person, but other than that, the second week was kind of a bit of a downer for me because one, I haven't been feeling well. Two, I have arthritis in my right arm, and I've been resting as much as possible, going to bed early every night. And let's take a look at my elbow. Looks like it's getting better. I'm going to have to change my band-aid, I think. But my brother got me some like arthritis, Tylenol arthritis, I think it was, at the store today. Plus, he bought laundry soap, a big thing of toilet paper with my cash, and used up most of my EBT funds for buns, bread, steaks, potatoes, vegetables, fruit. You name it, he's bought it. So I'm all stocked up for the next month or so I'm good. But as I've said, from what I hear, our government may start reopening things here within 10 days. I'm hoping they'll back off on that because they say if you open up things too quickly, it could backfire. And I believe Mr. Fauci or Fucci, the scientist that's on the case. But, there's a lot of things in terms of how families are being impacted. The kids' school years have been impacted. And some seniors won't even have a graduation ceremony. That's the worst thing. And when they hit their 30-year anniversary, which mine is coming up in September, I'm hoping by then I'll be able to go to that. And I really want to go to that because I want to see some of my old schoolmates and have a few drinks and say, hey, remember when we did this in high school? Remember when we did that in high school? And I want to be able to have that, but not at the cost of a human life. And I've connected with a few of my school friends here over the last couple of weeks. One of them says, stay home, it saves lives, and I'm hoping we have the reunion, but if we don't, I can completely understand that. Because, your life is what you make of it. And I'm not willing to be foolish and say, hey, the restrictions have been lifted. I'm free to go outside without any facial protection. I'm free to go anywhere I want to go. And maybe I'll contaminate somebody. That's not what I want to do. I want to make sure that people are healthy and safe and are able to maneuver around in public without fear of getting sick. But I'm not waiting for Trump to do anything. If anything, I'll listen to the governor here at home, and I'll listen to Governor Cuomo up in New York. Those are the two that I'm more likely to follow. I don't know what Trump's A game really is, but I think part of it is to open it up so he could have his little rallies again. And people tell me, well, you're supposed to be on top of this news. And I said, well, I don't watch him because it raises my blood pressure. He doesn't know what he's doing. He's running this country like a damn cakewalk. And he thinks he could simply open up the country without any consequences. That's what his Trump humper people believe. That they could open up the country and there would be no consequences. Apparently the high body count in this country don't matter to them. Well, it matters to me. Especially when I hear about a 5-year-old that died here this past week. I've heard of babies dying from it, 5-year-olds dying from it, 50-plus-year-olds dying from it. And Christopher Cross, who is about, I think he's 67. Hold on. Let me look that up. Let's see, get back to the internet here. Christopher Cross age. Wow. He's 68. He just turned 68 this year. He was born May 3rd, 1951. So he's 20 years older than me. So, yeah. But, he's been around for a long time. And I don't know if anybody's going to be able to get their tours off or nothing, but we'll just have to wait and see on that. But let me see. I'm trying to get some stuff uploaded to another website. See, settings. And we'll do hashtags. Okay. But, I'm just sitting here doing nothing. Give me a minute here. Okay, let's see if we can get this up. So, I'm not too terribly worried. Let me see here. Upload image. Come on. See here. But anyway, people, I'm just like trying to keep things in check here, Just been a tough time. I was supposed to do some grabs on a particular website of mine for a particular show, and I haven't been able to do that because I've been pretty out of it. So, yeah. I'm trying to get my appetite and stuff back to functioning properly, but with everything that's been going on here within the past week and a half, it's just been really tough. It has just been really strange and very, very tense. Let's just put it that way. But in closing, I wanted to let you all know what was going on. My brother will be getting his severance package from Macy's. It's about a year and about a half a year's worth of pay. And he says, I don't think I'll be going back to that company. And I said, well, I wouldn't blame you if you didn't. And he says, yeah, especially since I was promised that I would be in another part of the company. And they totally pulled the rug out from under me. And then I said, well, they did the same thing to Mom. I said, remember? I tried to tell them they refused to get her people to come in to help her climb up and get files and help her out around the office when she was busting her ass trying to get me through the last year of high school and finish up her job, and do file and floor and whatever else they had her do over there. She nearly kills herself on the job. And my dad says, well, honey, you're going to have to quit. It's not worth killing yourself if they're not willing to get you help. So I think she took early retirement. I'm not exactly sure, but I think she took early retirement. That freed her up to rest and maybe do a little traveling with my dad, which I'm glad they did. On one of those trips, I actually went. But right after she left that job at Lazarus, which would later become Macy's, they got like 5 people to fill her job. And my mom says, well, that's pretty messed up. I tried to ask for help and they turned me down the minute I leave to get other people in. And I said, well, Mom, It's just their way of forcing you out. But I'm glad you took early retirement because it's not worth killing yourself. You know, you gave your best years to that company and they treated you like a dog. So don't worry about it. At least you left with what's left of your health. She goes, yeah, I guess you're right. But in closing of this video, getting back to the seriousness of what we're going through now, if you think we're going to be able to open up this country right away, I don't think so. I don't think so. There's a lot of people causing a lot of problems. The protesters, going up against the people that are putting their asses on the front lines. The people out there in California hitting the beaches. I think some of the beaches in the south of this country have started to reopen. And I'm hoping that this does not cause a new explosion in the corona COVID epidemic. But it doesn't look good for the foreseeable future. And I intend to ride it out as long as possible. So, yeah. All I'm asking my viewers to do is to look out for your neighbors, look out for your family, and if you're not feeling well, shelter in a place away from your family, whether it's in the house, and if you're not to the point where you need to go to the hospital, try and ride it out at home. I know things are difficult. I've been having to deal with it since February when they started talking about COVID. And when your hospitals are talking about it, it's a damn serious situation. And I wouldn't put any of my family members through that. Because I could be a potential carrier and I could possibly hurt somebody. If I didn't follow the letter of my city's governor, who knows? Maybe they could arrest us if they chose to. But I'm using my right as an American citizen to shelter in place until I know that the curve is going to stay flat or they find a vaccine, which I don't think is going to happen in 2 years. I'm being honest here. There is no chance of them finding a vaccine in 2 years. You can bank it. Everything that we fight, from cancer to tuberculosis to CF, to find a cure for things like that, it's like trying to put a puzzle together. You have to find out which pieces fit and eliminate those that don't. So everything takes time and money, and there's a lot of people that don't have that kind of money. And like I said, I use my stimulus to stock up my house, my food stamp stimulus that came. I use that to stock up my house for the next month or so I'm good to go. But I'm only hoping that my wheelchair can hold out. I can only hope that my mainstream service will still be usable unless, if I'm home for a year to 2 years, I may have to go to their little dinky office to be renewed. And I'd have to go through my doctor's office. She'd have to fill out part of those papers, and then I would take it down to my service. And they could decide in a small interview whether or not that I would still ride mainstream's service. So I'm just riding it out. I haven't gone anywhere. I can't even tell you the last time I was ever on a bus, and I think it was back when I went to the doctor. So I haven't been on the bus in over 2 months. Yep, in less than a day and a half, on the 23rd, I will have been in my house for 2 months. It's no fun, but I'm doing my best to help flatten this curve and make sure that my neighbors are doing okay. So I'll keep you posted on how I'm doing here over the next couple of days, but seeing as how it's 5:30, I want to try and get things wound down so I can get some sleep and take some arthritic pills. And I'm going to try and lay down and get some needed sleep. Because this arthritis and shit, It's really been messing with my sleep cycle, and I gotta do something. So my brother went to the store, got me some shampoo and my pills, and he says, I couldn't find you the Tylenol PM like you wanted, but you try these arthritic pills. You take them every 8 hours. Maybe that'll help you with your arm, because I know you say you hurt real bad in the morning when you get up. And I'm like, yes, I do. I said, I just want to be in the house for as long as possible. Even if it means spending my whole spring and summer in my house, I'll do what I have to. I'll still go out and take out the trash, but I won't be outside for very long. So, take care of yourselves and each other. Show common sense. Don't be stupid. Don't be like those kids in Florida that went to the beach and think that they could escape the coronavirus. And yet some of them come back to their college, and some of them wound up in the hospital dealing with this COVID-19. Um, just use common sense. If you have to go out for your groceries and stuff, practice your social distancing. That's all I'm going to tell you for now. But have a good night, have a good week, and hopefully by next week I'll get back on and do another video. I'm going to get off and get ready for bed. I'm still not 100%, but probably I'll have some more activities on my Facebook groups here within a few weeks. So, see you later. Bye-bye.